We are out here today down Chepstow, just doing some photography with the 16 to 28mm F2.8 from Canon. This is an introductory level, kind of like wide angle, at a really decent price, which is £1,249. One of the points of interest down here in Chepstow is a pretty cool place. It's called the Chepstow Hole. What do you reckon, Tyler?
It's a very large hole, to be fair.
There?
Very British.
It's very British hole.
The artwork sort of emphasises that kind of very Britishness.
I feel like...
Which I think at Camera Centre UK we're very much about. A bit more on the Welsh side.
More on the Welsh side.
We are a bit more on the Welsh side.
Is that an insult to Welsh culture over there?
Over there is England. And here is Wales.
Is it? Oh, so that's why. That's dangerous, that. Come on, guys, concentrate and test out the lens. If I'm honest, it's a bit too wide to capture the whole, but it can definitely capture the whole of the hole. Yeah. Yes, I did notice after the fact, and I didn't look at my sensor. We're going to call it Timmy, the blatantly obvious thing in the centre of the lens. So here we have the beautiful bridge next to the hole. I'm looking to get a photo of the whole bridge.
Yeah, very good, Stu.
Yeah?
Yeah. Right on script, that was, to be fair.
Oh. When it comes to looking at a lens like this, Canon have actually kept it nice and small. In fact, it's a very similar size to the 28 to 70mm, with the 28 70mm just being a little bit bigger. Okay, after taking this shot, I did have to double check this, and it is in fact 1.2mm bigger on the 28 to 70. Yeah. Accuracy. Of course, it's going to be great for people who are looking to do vlogs, as it's like a kind of like really decent, like wide angle kind of like shot. If we actually switch it to video mode, just show kind of like how wide it is, there you go. That's kind of what you would be expecting out of like a vlogging setup for it. Of course, I don't actually have a mic on here at the moment, just having the mic on the actual camera, on the FX3, but yeah, it's pretty decent. And in that retrospect, if I do decide to do a video on the R8, this is the internal mic for the R8. What do you think? So looking just to grab this shot at the moment, we've got a really quite respectful seagull sitting on a nice orange post here. I'm going to see if I can shoot up high, down low, to see if I can grab it in the middle arch of the actual bridge over yonder. So yeah. Now Tyler scared him away.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks.
Sorry.
I've already taken the photo though, so this is a bit of a post kind of video about the photo that I've just taken. But yeah.
Is that what that was?
No, that wasn't the giant's hole.
Well, which hole was that then?
I don't know. We've seen a whole lot of holes today.
We have seen a lot of holes
so,
today.
What we're going to do now is, like, either we can go for a nice picturesque view, or we can go in search of another hole. How much do you like holes, Tyler?
We can go in search of another hole. And then apparently we're going to your house, known as the Giant's Cave.
Something of note here, because it's not your traditional 16 to 35mm wide angle zoom, you don't necessarily have that extra range that you would otherwise have in the more L range kind of glass. Which if you did want that little bit further, which, you know, with certain landscape features you kind of do every now and then you're kind of missing that there with this lens. However, that 16 to 28mm focal length, I think, covers all the necessary things for just day-to-day shooting. Also, if you're visiting Chepstow, you got to really check out the castle, haven't you? The Chepstow Castle. There's no castle without a Chepstow, and there's no Chepstow without a castle.
It's Wales.
The thing is, when I initially started using this lens, I thought that the photos that I was going to get out of it weren't necessarily going to be really what I wanted out of this session, but looking back after editing them and then during the day, I was actually really surprised at how much I enjoyed shooting with it. It kind of gives you a nice limitation as to what you can do. It gives you great bokeh if you want to do portraits, but also just a lot of potential there without necessarily making your life too complicated. So this is something I actually really appreciate. There's a little bit of walking today, and gravity affects me a lot more than other people. Anyway, just found this wood stump here with some really nice kind of like ridges. So I'm just going to take a photo of this right now, just checking out the minimum focus distance on both the 16 and the 28mm range, which is 0.25 on the 16mm end and then 0.2 on the 28mm end, which is of course pretty damn good all things considered. And during the shoot day I did rather underestimate the amount of walking that I needed to get done, so just watch as I get more and more exhausted the further we go along. Suitably mucky, isn't it, Tyler? I will admit, today was my idea. I didn't quite realise how much walking we were going to be doing today.
A bit muddy.
A bit muddy. And as somebody that's of the larger persuasion, things like this are genuine concerns of injury. To be fair, we are quite far up. How's it going now, Tyler?
It's questionable.
Alright, real question here.
Yeah.
Just watched Civil War, and granted, the implication isn't as bad as what would happen if we fall over.
Yeah.
But would you take a photo of me if I fall over?
Yes. No question.
I would too.
I get it on video.
Coming back to the lens, which is what this video is actually about, the 16-28 is very much more of a companion lens, I think, for day trips. It's nice for the landscapes, don't get me wrong, but every now and then I just wish I had a bit of a tighter shot. Like for example, right now we're looking for sort of like an outcropping where we can actually see the lake down below because we're quite far up. The 16-28 is never really going to get that in. You found a photo, have you?
We've been walking for a good half an hour, and so far all we've seen is trees and branches, nothing really particularly scenic, have we? But this gap here with the river, nice meander.
Found a curving round.
Meander, I learned that at GCSE geography. It's where the
So what lens have you got on them?
I've got a Sigma 2470.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a nice walk around lens. It's my go-to, my absolute workhorse, and this thing is built like steel.
So when it comes to the 28 to 70 and the 16 to 30, 28, which do you think is going to be best for this kind of form of shooting?
I prefer a lens like this one, I'll be honest with you. But if you're going to go straight in for landscapes, get those wide shots, then you want to go a bit wider than 24. So something like a 16-28 is ideal. I think wider than 16 is probably too much. If you're looking at 12 or 14 mil, because then you just get massive distortion in your. So.
Do you think it's more worth looking at getting the set together, so you've got the range, or do you reckon one would be better than the other?
One's better than the other, say, definitely. But and more useful because you're out in the wilderness, and now you're going to have an opportunity to switch your bag and change your lens, and that's the truth. Something like I know Fuji make like a 16-80, don't they? Something like that, which I know APS-C is 24 to 105 or whatever. But something like that is ideal, or something like this one. But the 16-28 or 16-35 for video, I think, is probably more preferable. Yeah. But you can get some great shots. But I don't like the limitation. I like to be able to pull in tighter, because you've said in the video a few times, I wish I could pull in tighter.
Yeah, for sure.
For the 70, you can do that. Or 105, So it's
needs must, doesn't it?
That's it. Take a photo of this, dude.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks, boss. Okay. And this is really the point when it comes to having a wide-angle zoom, is that they're great lenses, but they're not your main lens, realistically. Oh, Ty, we got a sign.
Yeah, so we've walked all the way up this mountain, and if you look over the edge, it's quite a drop. And I'll be honest with you, then seeing this as you walk past isn't really exactly a vote of confidence. Fills me with great confidence, actually. So keep going. So that's what we're going to do.
We're almost there, Tyler, aren't we? We found another big hole in Chepstow.
Yeah. This one is the reason why we came, though.
Go. Hello, my name's Furby, and today on the tour of the holes around the UK, we have the Giants cave right here in Chepstow. As you can see, the wildlife nearby is absolutely... Sorry, getting back to the video. The 16-28, something to note with this lens is that it does actually zoom external, so that means the barrel does come out. And like most compact lenses, it does actually have a click for storage, as well as having it actually open and ready to go. Were you recording all of that then, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, because I heard a beep.
No,
yeah.
you.
Is it? Oh, it is me, isn't it? But yeah, overall, been really enjoying it so far. Again, I think this is more of a companion lens with the 28-70, which I do actually have in my bag, but we've been walking a long time, and as you can tell, I'm sweaty, and like I keep saying, gravity affects me a little bit more, because I'm a big person. Anyway, let's check out the hole, Tyler. Okay, so now we got the view inside of the cave. I'm of course using the FX3 at this point, because it is so damn dark in here. Tyler thinks he's found some sort of satanic ritual site, which is great for a place called Giant's Cave.
Markings.
Yeah, like, so you think down there is a satanic ritual site?
There's some sort of markings going on, and you know, it's like in them horror movies when they go into a cave and they see like the tribal stuff on the walls. Stuart mentioned about this being a Giant's Cave, and to be fair, I can see why it's a Giant's Cave, because it's massive. The thing is, though, is that this area predominantly was what inspired Tolkien to write the Lord of the Rings series. So going up this kind of country path and going up, seeing all these beautiful landscapes and stuff, you can see why he was really inspired by all of this. And to be fair, it is beautiful, isn't it, Fibs?
It is absolutely beautiful.
Stunning.
Especially this cave. It could be the cave that they fall into the trolls.
It could be where
Cave trolls, is it?
Bilbo got the ring off Gollum.
Yeah, I was thinking about the ones that turned to stone in the day of the cave trolls.
Yes,
Also,
very much that too.
Where they find the sword.
Very much got like a kind of Rohan vibe to it here, and sort of the elves and Mirkwood and Rivendell and that kind of vibe to it. So, yeah, I can see why he was inspired by it. It's truly beautiful. Anyway.
This lens, I feel, was a little bit of a slow burner for me. It is one that I wasn't necessarily massively excited about using straight off the bat. However, and that's only because I really don't tend to use wide-angle zooms too often. They are nice and unique to have every now and then, but they're not necessarily something I go after as a creator. With that being said, I did think this lens actually grew on me, and especially when it came to kind of like the characteristics, once I got into kind of having a look at the photos and editing them a little bit more, I realised not only this lens is actually very, very sharp, and we actually paired it up with an R8, so if I actually had this on an R5 or another one of their cameras, I could actually like pixel peep a little bit more. But I was very impressed with the image quality I got out of this. There was very little kind of worry, it was sharp corner to corner. And like overall, I really appreciated the size. And although it was kind of comical earlier when I talked about it, the 28-70 being that like 1mm different, what's really great about it is actually being able to switch out between the 16-35 and then the 28-70 on stuff like gimbals. These set lenses would actually be absolutely fantastic when it does come to doing videography and doing vlogs in general. In fact, I feel like if I was to, let's say, go out with a family on a day trip, or perhaps want to do some more kind of like vloggy, tell a story, I feel like the 16-28 would actually cover that really quite well. And yes, maybe it would be nice to have a little bit of a tighter lens, but when you're trying to tell a story or take photos, sometimes it's good to be a little bit wider and tell the whole story. And I feel like with this lens in particular, the potential is really there. And like I said, I'm not necessarily somebody that uses wide-angle zooms too often, but I feel like this lens has actually given me the appreciation for them. Now, let's talk about the price point. Of course, you are looking around about $12.49 for both of these lenses, so £1,249 for each lens, not both of these lenses. Be careful how I word things, Stuart. And I feel like that's actually really good. Of course, this is kind of trying to combat the price of Sigma when they eventually release an RF version of their 2470. And, like, I'm impressed. I feel these lenses are high enough quality to really combat that when it eventually happens. But overall, these lenses, I think, are absolutely fantastic for people who are looking to just start out with a lens kit when they've got a full frame camera. Now, I do appreciate £1,249 is a lot of money, but when you compare them to the L range counterparts, you're really saving a lot here. And for 9 out of 10 people, you won't necessarily see too much of a quality difference as well. I don't know overall though. Let me know your opinions down below if you enjoyed this video. It was a bit more comical. It was a little bit of a fun journey. Tyler really enjoyed it, didn't you, Tyler?
Did, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, hopefully do more stuff like this in the future. We will be, like a lot of reviews. Also, if you want to check out Tyler's story, go onto our channel, check out how he became a professional photographer.
Yay, me.
Yay, him. And then my story is going to be out this weekend as well. So if you like this video, make sure you like, follow, subscribe. If you want to see more, have a good day.
Bye.